What's up, it's Cinema Shogun here, and at the Quinton Simon press conference earlier, law enforcement once again stated that they don't believe that Quinton Simon's mother, Leilani, is a flight risk. Then they were asked, why do you think that? And they said they couldn't reveal that information, which would lead you to believe that maybe they are confident that she's not a flight risk because they have taken the necessary precautions to make sure that she isn't. But hear me out real quick, because I believe she is a flight risk for obvious reasons and for reasons that maybe aren't so obvious. Now, obviously, anyone, in my opinion, anyone who has it in them to kill their child, but not just that, dump them in a trash dumpster, is capable of running away. Let's just call it what it is. You know, I'm not law enforcement. I'm not a local media outlet. I can say it how it is. I don't have to be formal. I don't have to be polite with my information. I don't have to wrap up my words in a nice little package with a bow on top. I can tell you how it is. And any woman or any man, any person on earth that has it in them to kill their kid and dispose of their kid in a trash can and will most definitely run away from law enforcement. That's a given. Now, when he was asked that question, he sounded confident, like, oh, almost as if they got something. But the reality is, folks, obviously she's not in custody, which a lot of you all thought she was. She's not. Obviously, she's not in a loony bin. She was seen yesterday. There are no ankle monitors on her. Now, do they have other ways of monitoring her? Sure. Right? They have other ways that they could watch her, but keep this in mind. There's no charges filed yet. So theoretically speaking, if Leilani wanted to, Leilani can go freely wherever she wants. So while they say we don't believe she's a flight risk, and they said that they believe that she's in Chatham County, they don't know for sure where she is, okay? The reality is they don't know for sure where she is, and even if they do, even if they're tailing her, they can't stop her. Regardless if she's the suspect, regardless if they're out there searching in the landfill, there are no charges. There are no charges. She's not under arrest. Leilani can leave that house or whatever house she's staying at, because I don't believe she's living with the grandmother anymore. She can leave and go where she wants freely. That is frustrating, but that's the law. We have to remember that. She hasn't been charged with anything. So she could leave. But let's go one step further. The other day, information was revealed within these court documents that Leilani dealt with bipolar. Now, what is bipolar? You have those mood swings, right? I'm not going to give you the exact definition off the top of my head, but you have mood swings. Sometimes you're really low and depressed, and sometimes you have these almost manic states of like a lot of energy and things like that. So someone who's dealing with bipolar disorder, 1 minute you could be interviewing them and you could think, oh, this person isn't a flight risk, and the next minute they can be. So just because maybe, I don't know what mental state she was in when they interviewed her and talked to her, but you have to remember that someone with bipolar disorder, not everyone, some people with bipolar disorder, their mood changes quickly. And maybe someone who's dead set on not running away, their mood will change like that, and then they'll get dead set on running away. So that really scares me, because if she really does deal with this disorder, there's a battle within her mind about being down, being, having more energy, less energy. So I feel like there would maybe be this internal battle within her about running away or staying. So I'm not saying that, just because she's bipolar, it means she's going to run away. I'm just saying it makes it more likely, Because you got to think of the mind state someone has to be in after doing something like she did. And that's even without dealing with these other issues. So you add this issue on top, And I feel like it makes it even more likely for her to make an unstable decision, for her to do something stupid like she's already done, allegedly, correct? Another thing, she also so-called suffers from like anxiety disorder. I think that we throw around the word anxiety disorder and stuff way too much these days. It's perfectly normal to have anxiety. I think every human on earth has anxiety. Now, of course, we have different levels of anxiety. Maybe you might suffer from more anxiety than the next person, but the reality is, doctors and these health officials, they want to place labels on everything so they can give you more pills, more medicine. Here, take medicine for this, take medicine for that. But the reality is, having anxiety is really what separates humans from animals, humans from beasts. It's that inner thought. It's that questioning of yourself, questioning of the situation, questioning of what's going on, you're rationalizing things in your mind and your thinking. So anxiety, in reality, is normal, and it's what separates you from animals for the most part. All right? It's that thought process before something happens. And that's what anxiety is. A lot of times it's like that worry. Like I had anxiety, a tad bit of anxiety before I made this video. For no apparent reason. My life is going good right now. I'm chilling in my home. But it's just that little ping of anxiety. So I think we have to be careful with who we label as having anxiety disorders, because everyone has an anxiety disorder or some type of disorder these days. But let's say she does suffer from a more extreme form of anxiety. That right there will have you making some bad decisions. It will have you dwelling on certain things, So I feel like that makes it even more likely that she will take off. It's like it's like there's just little ingredients and you're putting them in a pot. Okay, we have a mother from an unstable home, and you pour that bottle in the pot. All right, now I need some bipolar. Sprinkle you a little bipolar in there. You know what will go good with this concoction? Some anxiety. Let's pour some anxiety in there, and it just makes this toxic concoction of the perfect example of someone who is a flight risk. You know what I mean? If you add all of these ingredients together, you have a flight risk on your hands. You know what I mean? And I'm sorry to be joking, but it's the reality of the situation. But also, everything we just named, okay, let's move forward. She deals with substance abuse issues. Anyone that's dealing with substance abuse issues is capable of running from law enforcement, capable of making some really stupid and bad decisions. Okay? So, who's to say she doesn't do some type of substance that makes her get a hair in her ass and it's like, all right, I'm out of here and I'm taking off. Right? And then you also have to think about the fact that this family, and I've been nice as I can about this family is involved in a lot of nasty things, okay? This family is known. The brother's in jail for murder already. It looks like Billy Joe may have raised 2 murderers at this point. This family is connected with people who aren't necessarily the greatest of people. People who probably would help Leilani. Also, with her substance abuse issues, she's getting that from somewhere. And I'm sure it's put her, around a lot of questionable people. Now, when you have someone who's already known for making bad decisions, they're dealing with these mental issues, they just supposedly killed their kid, they're on drugs, and they're surrounded by people who aren't the best type of people, then that's a recipe for disaster. So not only do I think Leilani is a flight risk, I think Leilani is capable of getting someone else to help her run away, to help hide her, to help get her away somewhere. Period. Right now, let me not even make that statement, because there's some things that I know and some things that I've heard that I'm not really comfortable in sharing just yet before it's confirmed. But let's just say this. I really think that Leilani is capable of finding some dude that would help her run away. But I'll just throw that out there. Okay? So you have all of these different things that just points towards the fact that she could be a flight risk. And then you have to keep in your mind, the fact that even if law enforcement were sitting outside of wherever Leilani is right now, and Leilani got in that car and started leaving and went out of town, they could not stop her. Now, could they follow her, try to keep eyes on her, try to stay, connected with where she's going? Sure. But to say Leilani is not a flight risk, it's just not true. It's wishful thinking. But hopefully she doesn't run away. But ever since the start of this case, I've just had that feeling. And of course, it's maybe just a feeling. It probably is. There's probably nothing to it. But I think some of you all at home have that feeling too. That something's going to go on with that mother. And even if she's not a flight risk and she's running away, there's other ways to run away from your problems. And I think we all know what I'm talking about. And I think she may be capable of that as well. So the sooner she's taken into custody, the better. But the way it looks right now, it may be a while. And we don't even know if they'll ever find Quinton. But if you can think of other reasons as to why you think Leilani is a flight risk, let me know down in the comments below. I'm interested in hearing them. This is just a few things that I could throw off the top of my head. I didn't really put a lot of deep thought into this. I sat down and was like, hey, here's obvious reasons as to why this woman could run away, because I think this is the root of a lot of our frustration within this case is not just that Quinton hasn't been found, but it's the frustration of knowing that this woman is out here walking scot-free. People are in jail for way less. She's walking around scot-free. And if you pay attention to these type of cases, then chances are you probably have a similar feeling as me that something bad can happen here, regardless if it's her running away physically from her problems or her running away from her problems in a different type of manner. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you all in the next video.